A lot of times when a pastor flaunts wealth and is always talking about money, 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 it's because they've strayed away from God's purpose. I can't wait for the day God will kick these people out of his house and he will purge the church of these people who don't revere him.
So you see, I usually don't respond to people on social media, but when I see a level of mental laziness, especially what social media has become, I get concerned. I saw this video. I usually follow this guy's posts and he makes a lot of sense. That's the only reason why it will pop up in my timeline. And I'm not insulting anybody, but I just think that before you make a post, before you go out for cheap publicity, that clip you put out there is like 2 minutes out of a 1 hour plus message. Dude, you can do better. Before you criticize what anybody's saying, you were talking about reading the Bible in context. I'm not even going to pick it one by one, right? But before you can say someone said something, that is what the person meant, from a whole message of 1 hour plus, you picked out less than 2 minutes or about 2 minutes, and then you do a video over it. No, not in 2026. You can do better than that. Go on YouTube. The message is open to the public. Go and understand where the man was coming from, what he said before he read that scripture. Then you can do your content properly. Thank you.
Pastor Korede Komaye, was given a sermon in his church, and he used Proverbs 19 verse 4. He was, preaching on influence and affluence, but he was going on and on, emphasizing a lot on, prosperity and all those kind of things. So Buchi Solomon, criticized not even only Buchi, even Abel Damini also criticized him, that he was a rich, that he was a prosperity preacher, all those kind of things. I mean myself, I don't even like all those prosperity preacher, you understand. Then Pastor Komaye was overemphasizing on it, even talk about the tithe of $1 million, all those kind of things. But listening to the message, because I don't even listen to that message, I don't hear him before, but I don't focus on her until I saw, Mr. Speaker, come criticize Buchi Solomon based on his criticism on, Pastor Komaye, that he need to go watch the whole, because he no go fit just use 2 minutes, 2 minutes line or 2 minutes clip from the whole 2 hours this thing, take the, till they criticize or till they make points, because say A1, score cheap points, or he's saying one, And Buchi Solomon is not someone who is unknown. So I don't see the reason why Ingo they use that avenue or that medium to just to chase clouds. So on watching the whole, because this Mr. Speaker and I even make me come go watch the whole clip. So as I go watch now the same thing I still witness, now the same thing I still can't understand, because a lot of things, when I say you never follow a poor pastor, all those kind of things, me, I don't understand. Immediately talk about that tithe, I just felt like, because the whole message was even like, it was already not aligning with my spirit already. So I can't go back to Mr. Speaker's page. I can't watch all the comments we did there was like, yeah. Man, why don't you just even talk your own and throw more light on the situation, rather than making us go watch the whole clip and nothing drives home. You for just go explain your own point, or you for just go explain what you feel, or even educate us, we will not understand, rather than because me now you don't make me I can't go watch and waste time, unnecessary time where I don't get, you understand. So I felt the need to even I commented and I added my own 2 cents. I okay, Buchi Solomon, you were being too judgmental. You could have even done your own research, because you were just about the prosperity preaching, whatever you did against them. Then you now, Mr. Speaker, you still attacked Buchi Solomon. So now too, I don't see any difference. But what I would have done is to advise or to encourage anybody with they on that way feel like the way I feel, to go and even read the Proverbs passage or the Proverbs chapter from up to down. You understand, from the beginning to end, so that you even have an in-depth context of what that whole thing was trying to say. Proverbs 19 verse 1. It's better to be poor, but you are walking in uprightness, than a rich man who has perverse lips, that he is a fool. You understand? So it don't separate that distinction now. So whether you are being poor is not the problem. We don't know say now say being poor is not the problem. That verse 1 alone made me to understand that being poor is not the problem. You understand? So it is better to be poor but being upright, than for you now to be rich but perverse in your lips, that you are a fool. That is what that verse 1 makes us to understand. That if you can't read verse 2 and verse 3, you can't read that verse 4. You can't talk say a wealthy person attracts a lot of friends. but a poor man is separated from his neighbors. It no mean say attracting a lot of friends na a good thing. You understand? That's not what it means. If you don't read them from that one, go read that for you go no say they are still trying to emphasize on that verse 1. You understand? So that verse 4 now is still trying to emphasize on that verse 1. You understand? Still they describe verse 1. You understand? So you being wealthy, you attract a lot of friends. No means all your friends. Attracting friends no means a good thing. Then you being separated from your neighbors no means a bad thing. It's not such a terrible thing, but Pastor Komaye, pick this, particular verse, manipulate him, was now preaching something else entirely different. Then if you read down to verse 17, it also says that that blessed is he, that he who has pity on the poor and gives them and helps them with anything has lended to God. So anything you do for a poor man, say that God you do it for, and God will reward you. These two passages now, which is 1 and 17, was a core foundation of the whole of that Proverbs 19 verse, that Proverbs chapter, that's 19. And I believe that if to say these two guys, mean Mr. Speaker and Buchi, if to say they do their own research, if to say they actually read that passage, this thing where they talk now, I ain't they from talk. You understand? Therefore, not even begin the judge, because personally, Buchi, I know the fancy Buchi, method of his moral obligation, or whether the way into they go about his moral correction and all those kinds of things. Then this guy now, Mr. Speaker, do the same thing. So you are not even different. So if you guys had, done your research, if you guys, digested this whole scenario, because it is just sad and pathetic that say everybody just wants to be right. You understand? Nobody want to actually solve problem. We are too lazy to solve problems, because what does it take you to go and read the passage now that you can't understand, and when you don't digest them, you can't come out, can't educate the public thoroughly or better. You understand? Even educates Pastor too, Pastor Korede Komaye too, because him no perfect, himself no to know. Even if you just read them based on his own understanding, or even if na manipulation self, you can still correct him and draw him back to put him back on track. You know mean say the guy they evil, or you know mean say everything, say he no get good, or say everything about him na bad. You understand? So for Buchi, being too judgmental, prevented you from doing what you should have done. Then the same thing applies to Mr. Speaker. You understand? So make not they because that's just what the actually see. Freedom of speech or freedom of expression is one of the things why Bible or Christian faith is superior to any other this thing, because if you just they take everything hook, line and sinker. So the ability for you to even question some of the things you know, or for you to even question some of the things you have been told, is a plus, or is an advantage. You get, but when you do not do like say get wisdom, or not do like say you did better off, or like say you did different, or say now you better pass. 2 seconds or long.
If you like, don't share the video.